Have you ever wanted to ask an artist what was the most important thing they learned from art school? Not everyone has the time or the money to go to art school these days, so wouldn't it be nice if you had it just summed up by someone who's been through it? I want to share something with you. I want to tell you the 10 most important things that I learned by going to art school. I mean, there's always debates about like whether going to art school is actually worth it or not. These are things that I learned specifically in art school and I wouldn't be able to learn in any other environment. First things first, you learn how to give critique. Because in my art school, we had this thing where with every project, we would all gather in the morning and everyone would critique that person's work. And so it really became a skill. Like you have to be able to pinpoint what it is that's not quite working in that. And then by doing that, you can actually apply that to your own work. You learn to be objective and subjective. And it's a strength that is really beneficial in doing your own work. Plus, when you give someone else helpful critique, then they're more likely to give you helpful critique. And there's a big difference between helpful critique and non-helpful critique. If I ask you what's wrong with my drawing and you just say, no, it looks good, that's not a helpful critique. No. If I ask you what's wrong with my drawing, I want you to tell me maybe that shoulder's a bit too high, maybe that angle would be better off in the opposite direction. You learn how to give critique in art school and you learn how to take critique, and it's so good. And sometimes those people who you critique back and forth with end up being someone that you can ask critique with your whole life. Personally, I ask at least 3 people for critiques on each of my paintings that I finish. Make twice as many thumbnails as you think you need. In fact, make 3 times as many thumbnails as you think you need. We had this one exercise in art school where we had one thing to draw, and we had to make 100 thumbnails for it. 100 different ways of showing how we wanted to convey this idea. And it sounds ridiculous, but I promise you it's actually extremely useful. And once you do it, once you do that exercise, you'll understand, because maybe it's not until thumbnail 33 that you actually come up with an idea that you like, and it's not until thumbnail 76 that you realize what's not working, and maybe it's thumbnail 91 where you finally find the idea that actually clicks. In summation of those 2 points, critique is super important. Learn to give it, learn to take it. Always do a bajillion thumbnails. Don't underestimate the power of the thumbnail. Now, I have 8 more things about art school that I want to tell you. So if you click that link in my profile and put in your email, I will actually email it to you. The 10 most important things I learned in art school. Absolutely free. So click that link in my profile, put in your email, and let me send you that stuff.